Hey YouTube, it's your girl ZJ here with my first video log on my DIY project. I told you in my last video that due to the length of time, short or long, that I have to endure until I finish school and actually get into the career that I want to be at in the long term, I decided that instead of waiting until, I decided that I am not going to let school determine what I can and cannot do. So, a lot of folks out there have been successful without high school education and college education. I have my high school diploma, FYI, but I do want the best I can do, poverty stricken or not, job or not, smart or stupid. I will go get my education, and I don't mind strife. I don't mind the frustration. I think it's actually the most challenging thing I could ever do in my life, because every job I've had has been super easy. So, getting to the point of this video, since I'm not really good at programming yet, and I'm only practicing in one language specifically, I can't write any complex programs to do something or create something huge. With a little hands-on experiments and projects, I might be able to actually do something like that, something bigger, but I want to start with the baby steps. So I'm going to do something that involves very basic, very basic engineering, circuit boards, and LED lights, and maybe some other stuff that necessarily won't be for showmanship or display, but will involve, drill bits and other sort of things that are required to make my project. For example, I decided to build or make a wand, and you might ask why. Why do you want to make a wand? For something that I'm not actually going to use every single day, and it's the first thing that came to mind, would be something very girly and cute and fused with technology. My side project for my website, for stuff that I do on the side, for profit or not, is going to be regarding cute girly things fused with technology. The first idea was a wand. Not a blinky on off 01 pink, corny, horribly soldered type LED wand in a frosted casing that looks like a glowing lamp. But I prefer a fully arrayed, double-sided LED wand with full brightness, multi-directional, very brilliant wand. I actually prefer there will be no casing so that it looks cooler, but that's just going to be my prototype until further notice. So for me to do this, I not only had to draw a perfect star that would work with this, but I'd also have to determine the dimensions, the size, the thickness of everything. So you guys don't really care about the dimensions, I'm sure, but it will be a 10-inch base, or actually, did I write 10 inches? Yeah, the base will be 10 inches, and the length of the star will be 5 inches. The thickness of the base is going to be 1/4 centimeter. The thing in the dark circle is the thickness that I kind of outlined, and the thing in the middle is supposed to be the battery, but I screwed up and it looks like a weird symbol or something, or a steering wheel, I don't know. This is kind of a better example. that's supposed to be the inside of the base, and you can sort of see the little compartment door that will hold the battery in. And I have to model it, so I got a went to Joann's Fabrics. Almost every place I've been to, state, city, or whatever, well, actually in Washington State has a Joann's, but you can find this at any fabric store, Michael's or whatever, what have you. I found styrofoam there. Now this styrofoam was actually a huge cone, and we were thinking, oh well, and see the cone is missing a middle point. Yeah, we were thinking, oh, we'll just cut this down to size, stick one of these little sticks in it, these things, and you know, dig a little trench or whatever, and so that I can fit a battery in it, and just, you know, as a demonstration, a demo or a model wand base, and then we'll go from there. The point is to have a model. Now the wand, or the base of the wand, did not turn out so well. I got great thickness. I mean, I got a great, you know, internal, like a little hole trench in there, and I was able to fit a battery, actually 2 batteries, but now it's broken. I was able to do that, but you see how this goes and meets at a point. They need to be perpendicular. I mean, they need to be parallel. So I'm thinking, how the heck am I going to get this parallel? And I was thinking, oh, I'll just, you know, shave it down to size. And I don't have any tool that's designed to shave this down to size. I don't have any huge equipment that's going to apply so much force that it'll quickly shave it down to size. Only thing I have close to that is a hacksaw, and the hacksaw was actually doing pretty okay, very ghetto, but it did okay. But when I was poking in the hole, I made a few mistakes, like the stick came out the other side of the cone, and when I got to a certain point, the thing broke and now it's useless. So I have to find another base. It's important to get a model down, I see. So, you know, and my boyfriend is helping me along with this. I mentioned this, I think, in my last video. He's very good with, you know, electrical engineering, electrical computers. You know, he's a little golden child, whatever. But he's not actually doing this for me. I'm doing all this. He refuses to help me. He's really there to say, this is what you're going to have to need to use for this, and yeah, you can do that, or no, you can't even do that. So yeah, but the star part of the model turned out to be very good. I'll tell you how I started out with the star. So I need to draw a star, but I don't know how to draw stars very well. I know I'm a girl, sorry, and I should be able to draw them fantastic, but the stars I do know how to draw is a little Antichrist ones. So I knew how to get a star, and all I had to do was, you know, retrace over it to make it a perfect looking star, like the ones you see on top of Christmas trees. And I had to get rid of the lines within the area of the star. If you don't notice, there is a problem with this sort of drawing that I had of the wand, is the base right here. Yeah, it can't sit in the middle of a point like that, so I have to get rid of this here, or at least make more space. So not only had to draw the star, but I had to draw it with space in the middle. And the way I did that was I just kind of made shapes within the star. So I have, you know, I have 5, I don't know what you call them, like isosceles or something like that, triangles, and it looks kind of like a It's not really, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot what you call that. It's like pentagon, or I forgot what you call that shape. But anyways, and you see I have a nice flat base for the star to sit on. And the dots are actually supposed to represent the LED lineup. I don't know for sure if that's how I'm going to have it, but for starters, I did write that pattern 1 for this LEDs will be all lined up all the way, or diagonal all the way, and then pat 2 for pattern will be different because I don't know, I somehow I have to make it work for the entire star, and since there's different shapes and stuff, you know, this is my first time doing it. I think I'm doing pretty well. I'm gonna screw up many times, and I look forward to it. So yeah, I did that, and as far as the model of the star, it was pretty easy. I drew the star on notebook paper, not college roll. So I just picked up a notebook from the dollar store and drew a star. I drew my little Antichrist version of it. Then I erased the lines in the area. Then I used measuring tape to kind of make it, make the width and the height of it a little bit better, you know. So there's my star on notebook paper and taped down on this styrofoam that cost me just a couple of bucks at Joann's. And my job next was to cut the star out, and I used scissors to cut the star out. Did relatively well. Cut through the tape like a champ. It's a little rough on the edges, but as for a model, it's great. There's my star. Now, there is a problem with this. Even though it's a perfect star, I'm having a double-sided LED star wand. So the thickness of it, this is not realistic. If anything, it might be like double the thickness. So yeah, I need to have, the circuitry has to work. So the thickness of this is not, I mean, it's ideal, but there's no way. I mean, there might be a way, but who knows. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at as far as the model goes. Until I find another base and probably better material for the base, because the styrofoam thing is very, very difficult. It's very hard to draw a parallel, you know, a cone sphere looking with 10-inch length, you know, and skinny like that. It's really hard to cut that out of styrofoam. I might not even use that same material, but damn you, I will find out. So in other news, I am making a site dedicated to little cool things like this, and I will have my video logs on it, and I'll also have other things that I design or create. The point of this is, in the end with my star, I'll be able to flaunt it off and parade it around and see if people, you know, notice it and think it's like, oh, that's pretty neat. You know, where'd you get that from? I was like, and if it looks cute enough anyways, I'll be able to say, oh yeah, I made it. If it's crappy, then I'll be like, oh, well, I probably won't even flaunt it around. But people like it enough, you know, then at least I'll get a green light that, you know, I really should, you know, do more of this, or possibly, you know, see if people want to buy it from me. You know, that's always a good idea. It should be very simple, but for me it's not simple because it's the first time I'm actually doing hands-on with some form of engineering, electrical engineering and stuff. I will be soldering. I will be, you know, getting the resistors and the capacitors or whatever, the little battery, the power and stuff, and wiring all that up. I'm going to be sizing the material down and picking what material I need to use. I need to find out what the melting point is, and I mentioned that in my last week. There's a lot more involved than just putting pieces of crap together. So like I told you guys, I did get my domain name, but I can't tell you the name. But I did design the logo, and here is what it will look like. Basically, it's supposed to represent a butterfly, which is supposed to represent girls and technology. So hopefully this looks kind of like a circuit board on butterfly wings, or butterfly wing circuit board. The colors, I have not decided that yet, but I think this is the cutest thing ever. And then I hopefully one day will get to, like, you know, put it on my, imprint it on my shirts and put it on my website and do a whole bunch of stuff. So let me know what your thoughts are on my little project, and please, you know, be nice, and constructive criticism is preferred. If you hate what I'm doing because you're jealous or something like that, just don't post. If you think it's stupid, don't post it. Just ignore the video and pretend you never watched it. If you have awesome comments, and if you really like it and I prefer you actually hit the like button and you know, share it with your friends and stuff. I do need some exposure, but this is just a project. It's not finished. It's barely started. So that's about it. Until next time, have a good weekend, everyone.